We're live. We're up. Got all the stupid screens in front of me. Shout out to the stupid screens that are all reporting the same exact thing over and over again. Thank you so much. If you guys didn't know what was happening, I'm glad that the memes told you now. There's crazy stuff going on internationally right now. So I'm glad you guys are hopping in for a little bit. I just want to talk about a couple of things really fast. Because, dude, if you think it's weird now, like if you honestly think it's weird now, I promise, this is just the beginning. What's up, Shotgun Sith? Like you guys, I mean, everybody's seen the pictures, everybody's seen the videos, everybody's seen the response, everybody's seen all this stuff, right? So that's cool, right? That's fine. And everybody has their own political opinion as to what happened, and that's fine. That's the beauty of this country. You can have your own political opinion. That's gorgeous, right? But here's the reality. We're just getting started. We're just getting started. And if in your brain, right, for some reason somebody's going to come and save you, go ahead and look at the video footage of yesterday. Look at response times. Look at the med, right? The med that was actually deployed on scene, very little, right? Look at the crowd and how they reacted, and then go ahead and audit your own lines, right? Audit your own lines of preparedness, audit your own lines of capability, and just take a good hard gander, right, at what the heck was going on. You know, a lot of people are saying it was staged. A lot of people are saying, oh, it was fake, it wasn't real, da 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 da. You know what, dude? I don't even care about that. I really don't. I don't care about it. I think the whole thing should be, I think we should really be looking at this as an opportunity to onboard information as to the direction in which we're headed right now, right? Who cares what transpired, or the meaning behind it, or any of that nonsense, right? Let's take a good hard gander at, like, what do you have on your person right now to deal with issues, right? Seriously. And like, your one tourniquet is arguably not gonna do it. It's just not, dude. Like, we really got to be thinking critically right now, and critically we should be getting even more prepared. We should be checking our lines of preparedness. And by the way, what you saw yesterday was a bunch of systems quickly deteriorate, right? That's what happened. You saw a bunch of systems quickly deteriorate. You saw systems that were supposed to be in place to protect individuals and then also protect large groups that were around, and they weren't quickly deployed. They weren't, right? And that was supposedly for one of the most important people, and they weren't deployed. And so, are they going to be magically deployed for you, right? Are they? I don't know. Man. And like, yeah, we can look at blood splatter analysis, and we can look at, you know, how the reaction of certain forces was, all this different stuff. We can really pay attention to it. Or we can not get caught up in the nonsense party, which, by the way, is what's happening. There's a big nonsense party happening right now. There's a big distraction fest going on, and that's why this is all you can see on social media. It's ridiculous. You guys need to take a step back, right? And first and foremost, you need to observe the number one command. Love the Lord thy God with thy whole body, whole heart, whole mind, whole spirit, right? Then second, you need to observe the second great command, which is to love thy neighbor as thyself, right? And if you're going to actually do these things, you need to be more prepared. You need to be more resilient. You need to be more forward thinking rather than reactionary. Because what I saw inside of that whole group of people, inside of that whole reaction, like how everybody, you know, acted inside of that setting was reactionary. Everybody was reactionary. They were like, how could this happen? I was like, are you kidding me? Are you actually kidding me? How could this happen? Why? Like, where are you at in your mind if you are surprised by the actions of violent people that have been calling for violence? These are violent people that have been calling for violence for a long time, right? And so we as mature adults who care about one another, who care about the sustainment of freedom, who care about the sustainment and preservation of life, need to be about that action. We need to be about life, right? And so if we're about life, then like, dude, let's audit our own systems off of this. What would I have done? How would I have acted? How can I be training for interactions or situations that I might find myself in a crowd setting, right? If you have your family inside of large crowds, I personally don't recommend that in this current day and age. But if you do, like, do you have emergency plans? Does your spouse know what they're going to do if something bad starts going down? Right? If bullets start flying, if a stabbing happens, if a bombing happens, and I know, Bob, that would never happen in this country, bro. I would love to believe that. I would love to believe that everything is going to stay super peaceful and super calm, and that through this we're all going to unite. It's going to be great, right? But guys, let's be honest. Let's be honest, right? Can we do that? Can we do that with each other here on these 3 platforms, on these Babylonian rectangles of death? Can we realize for a second that there are large groups of people that do not want you to survive or thrive, right? And so what are you actually doing to be more prepared? Are you training, right? Are you actually training? Are you actually planning with other people, right? As to what you would do inside of an emergent event, right? Too much division. Yeah, too much division. Because if you're not training and you're not taking action and you're just talking, right? Just la, 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 la. You're just like the rest of them, right? And I'm not trying to be mean, but I've just been watching people so much over the past 24 to 48 hours talk. And it's like, dude, I've invited you to like 16 trainings in the last 2 months and you haven't shown up to any of them, right? It's like, for what? Like, you don't, like, why? Like, why do you care, right? And it's like, you have all of the responsibility, you have all of the opportunity in your own life, and we would rather fixate on divisive content on little rectangles rather than be present in our own preservation, right? And there's 2 types of preservation that I'm talking about here, folks, just so we're all clear. And I know you're not going to like this, TikTok, right? But there's 2 types of preservation I'm talking about. The first and most foremost and most important is your spiritual preservation. If you have read more about Trump than you have the word in the past 48 hours, check yourself. Check yourself, bro. I'm not saying that because I don't love you. I'm saying that it's the exact opposite. It's because I do love you. And second of all, if you're paying attention more to the Secret Service's response times than your own response times, you have an issue. Check yourself. Seriously. If you're like, dude, I can't believe they didn't take that shot. I can't believe they didn't hit like this or shoot like that or do this. It's like, dude, when's the last time that you even zeroed or rechecked or re-verified your zero? What's up, bro? I love you. Like, in all honesty, right? Can we stop playing games? Can we be serious? Or is this all pretend? Are we just LARPing, right? Because if we're all LARPing and it's all pretend, cool, man. I'll get on here and I'll shill products for you the absolute best, right? I will shill some products and I will make really good memes out of all of the photos, and I'll put the media team on a media blitz to derive as much content from this little shit show as possible. Or I could be honest with you and say, hey, you guys aren't paying attention. There's really only one way that this ends, and it's not super cool. You guys gotta wake up. You have to. You actually don't have to. You have free will. You have free will, dude. Do what you want. What's that? There's a book. I read it. There's a book, and the first command in that book is do what thou wilt. Right? Yeah, that book. Yeah, it's a terrible book. Don't read it. Right? But guys, like, I promise there are individuals that are training, that are making it their purpose in life to remove capability and capacity from you. You guys need to start acting like it. You really, really do. Because they hate you. They do. And what you saw yesterday is a cloak in front of how much they hate you. Because people are going to think that this is about one side or the other. Buddy, it doesn't matter if it's the left wing or the right wing. It's the same bird. It's the same bird, right? And who cares? Who cares? You have the capacity and the capability to make a difference in your own life, right? If something bad happens to you or around you, are you even trained to respond, right? Are you trained in basic first aid? Are you trained in stop the bleed? Are you trained in TACMED, TECC? Do you even know what that means? Do you even care, right? Or did you buy another chest rig? Or did you buy another plate carrier? Or your second set of night vision? Or your 15th rifle? Or, you know, your 10,000th pound of food? And you're still not doing anything? Like, come on, guys. What are we talking about here? Like, what are we actually talking about? Like, you know, I don't say this. I say this because I care, because it's my job to care. This, like, as a company, our mission statement is to save lives while in service to the Father's kingdom, right? It's very simple. We want to save lives while serving the Father. And so it would be antithetical to our mission statement for me to come on here and do a bunch of hype beast nonsense to you. Instead, I could actually just tell you the truth, which is that shit is gonna get much worse than what you saw yesterday. The only meme that I've really enjoyed and related with through this whole thing is that one of the guy in a gas mask on top of a tank where he's like, hey friends, remember when I said it's gonna get much worse? And it pans to him again and it's like, it's getting much worse. Political violence, dude, we're right there. We're on the precipice. We're on the precipice. That's like, dude, you guys really need to be thinking about your systems right now. You really need to be thinking about people, because people are more important than preps. And if you have people but you don't have preps, then all of you as a people need to focus on your preps, right? Or we could all ostrich, take our hats off and shove our heads in the sand and pretend that it's not happening, you know? Like we could look at it, we could go, you know what? I'm sure that in November everything's gonna be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. But we know that's not true. I think deep down you guys know that's not true. And if you don't, then like maybe go watch a different channel. Like I love you. I do. But maybe just go watch another channel. Because honestly, I don't have time for the nonsense, right? Like the reality is look at Joseph knew hard times was coming, right? And he prepared and preserved for his people, right? You are called to be a nation of kings and priests, right? We have to first and foremost observe the top command, which is loving the Lord thy God. And then second, we have to love our neighbor as ourselves. We should be preparing our witness of the gospel with veracity right now, right? People need peace. People need joy. They need to know that Christ is with them, right? Because so many of us over the past 48 hours, we're spending so much time right here in front of our phones instead of in the Word, right? Instead of talking to other people, right? And biblically, by the way, it's supposed to get worse, right? Biblically, it's supposed to get worse. We can use this as an opportunity to talk about what no bullshit steps that you could take to prepare yourself. Yeah, absolutely. What are some no bullshit steps you can take to prepare yourself? So you can have hard conversations with the people you love. You can stop pretending, right? With your direct family, with the people around you that you care about, with your friends, you can have hard conversations as to, hey, what are some emergency plans that we can put in place? What if violence does start? What are we going to do? How can we be an effect and a change for good, right? How can we help just the same way that in the diaspora, inside of the early church in Acts, there were individuals who took it upon themselves to provide blessings and resources for the church. How do we do that? How do we do that? In all seriousness, right? Like, that's what we need to be focusing on. How do we make sure that we have the capability to save lives and maintain some semblance of normalcy, right? Like some semblance of normalcy. I'm not saying perfect normalcy, but like, dude, if you guys are focusing on your 15th AR-15, but you're not stacking Bibles right now, I got questions. If you guys are focusing on your 10,000th round ammo order and you're not ordering med supplies or ordering food, what are we, like, you guys don't want to preserve life. You guys want to get in a gunfight. And I'm just going to tell you right now, dude, gunfights suck. They suck. You want to know why? Usually in gunfights, people get shot. But oh, the mysticism. The mysticism. Having non-emergency contact numbers, police, hospitals, etc. listed out and saved in phones, that's a great thing. That's a great thing to do. Also understanding, like, if those systems are not up and running, what can you do? Can you provide your own security? Can you provide your own medical resources? Can you provide your own sustainment, right? Like, come on. You'd love my med stock. Takes up most of my shelving from floor to ceiling. That's because I love you, Doc Fix. That's because I love you. Massachusetts had a statewide outage 3 or so weeks ago and all emergency phones were down. Not good. Yeah, that's a great point as to like why having those numbers is great, comma, if the phones don't work, who cares, right? Do you have a commo plan? Do you have a commo plan that's not just one line deep? They're just dying to feel oppressed. It's so entertaining. Yeah, people are dying to feel oppressed. It is, you know? And I would say it's not entertaining. I would say it's kind of demoralizing at times. But read the Bible. It actually talks about this. The people suffer for a lack of vision. Spiritual, mental, and physical fitness is top priority for me right now. That's a great point. That's a great point. PT is a big thing, guys. Physical fitness is huge. I was actually talking about this with a couple of brothers the other day. We were like, man, what's one thing that we could really be like pushing towards the homies to drive on right now? Like, what's one thing that, like, man, we need, like, physical fitness, dude. It'll solve a lot of problems. Solve a lot of problems. A lot of problems. So we said a whistle is on every piece of my kit. Getting attention, being loud helps a lot. Last weekend event. Yeah, for sure. A whistle's big. I have a whistle around my neck right now. Whistle's a great little piece of kit. It is. Like, I come on here, you know, obviously to get yelled at by trolls because that makes me feel good. But I also come on here because, like, I want to break the cycle just a little bit, just for a second, right? Like, if we could all figure out that we don't have to be so dependent on this absolutely decaying system. Look at the left side of the bird, look at the right side of the bird, not a super cool bird. Maybe just don't put that much into it. Maybe step back, pour into your local community, pour into the people around you, and have a net positive benefit, right? Do you have clean water systems, right? Do you have relationships with your local farmers? Do you have agriculture setups, right? Like, do you have these systems that actually matter, right? Go back, dude, just go back like 150 years, right? Like, go back 150 years. Go back 100 years. Go back 75 years, right? Like, we used to be a very, very different group of people here in this nation called the United States. And now, like, we're so dependent upon systems that, like, dude, if any movement forward towards, like, any sort of systems that are self-sustainable, that are outside of the major network, are a good thing. Are a good thing. Doesn't matter if it's a dairy cow. Like, doesn't matter if it's just like some chickens. Doesn't matter if it's having water pumps and water filtration and a pond or a river, right? Like, these things really could make a big difference. You guys sell a lot of gear. What needed gear would you recommend to a family seeing what's happening now and wanting to prep more? I always recommend the wound care bucket. I do. Because majority of wounds are going to need to be tended afterwards, right? And so It's in a 5-gallon bucket. It'll stack with the rest of your preps. Has the ability to clean and dress a serious wound for 30 days or multiple wounds for a lesser amount of time, right? And you can stack those things, and they're not very expensive. They're like $140, right? So you're getting massive wound care for a low cost. And it's like, I know it's not tactical nylon that attaches to the plate carrier and it's super cool and sexy. Dude, I love tactical nylon. I do. I vibe with it. I design it. I do. I get down with it, right? But like, I much rather would be able to dress and care for a wound of my child who fell, right? And guess what? You can't go to CVS because CVS is empty. And I know. Bob, CVS would never be empty. I revert you back to 2020. We saw that. We've actually seen that in this country. And people suffer for a lack of vision. They just don't look back. They don't see. History repeats itself. It's cyclical. How much is the birthing bucket? Maybe $200, 200 some odd bucks. And that's a great little piece of kit. As a guy who has had babies with it, it is a great little piece of kit. We use doulas, midwives, all to develop the baby birthing bucket. All of our bucket lines, by the way, they're built for preppers. And not like, and it wasn't, we didn't build them for like the fear porn doomer preppers. No, we were like, dude, what about sensible Americans who want to be more prepared, who want to be more capable when systems start to decay? Let's start a bucket line. A bucket line, you can stack it up with your preps. So we have a surgical bucket, we have a wound care bucket, a baby birthing bucket, and then a postpartum bucket, right? What comes in a bucket? A metric ton. A metric ton. They're filled to the brim. The wound care bucket, if you unpack it, you probably won't be able to put it back. The surgical bucket comes with a literal surgical suite, right? And the capability to do basic surgery. And the baby birthing bucket comes with everything you need to do a at-home birth, right? And then the postpartum bucket comes with everything that mom needs after birth, right? Wonder what kit they used for Cheeto Jesus. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Staying alive is sexier than tactical gear. Yeah, it is, dude. It's super sexy. It's super sexy to breathe. It is. It is. And people just don't want to talk about that. It's just not as cool. Somebody said the surgical bucket is amazing. Surgical bucket is dope. And like, honestly, those are types of products that like you can't get other places. You really can't. Like nobody else is making that stuff because nobody else is thinking like, okay, I don't want to sell you tactical nylon. I want to get you gear that you would use inside of an emergent event, right? Somebody said use my wound care bucket for dozens of things. Yeah. I personally, dude, the wound care bucket is where it's at. People sleep on it. We set up a subscribe and save for the wound care bucket because so many people were reordering it every month. And it's like, dude, let's hook up the homies who are budgeting 150 or 120 bucks a month for med, right? And let's just set them up with the wound care bucket. And that seemed to make sense to us, right? But like, dude, we all want a doomer porn. That's what we want. We want the dopamine, bro. Give me that dopamine in the head. That's really what it is. People are addicted to the dopamine. Gotta scroll. I gotta see another photo of a dead shooter. I gotta see another photo of the fist pump. It's like, dude, this is stupid. This is stupid. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. Pay attention. I was a combat medic in the Army and a paramedic. I love the surgical bucket. Hey, thanks, bro. That means a lot to me. That really does. Wound care buckets, bleeding control kit, burn dressing pack, 2 cats, stitching kit, ankle kits. Next, great service. Hey, thanks, Gus. The ankle kit's where it's at. That's how I carry my EDC. Because I have the ability. I have a blowout kit on me, ready to go. Ready to go, right? And that's just kind of like, it's an easy thing to do. It's an easy thing to carry on you. It's not super sexy because you can't see it, so you don't get to brag about it. But it conforms to your actual ankle, right? It stretches the whole thing so you can put different gear in it. I have a soft tee wound packing. I have 2 packs of wound packing gauze because just so you know, you very well likely could use 2 packs of gauze. That's very possible, right? So 2 packs of wound packing gauze, gloves right up on top, chest seals, and an S-mark bandage right there. Boom, good to go. All right, little blowout kit. I can stop massive hemorrhage and seal the box one time if I needed to, right? So like, come on, dude. And like, honestly, it's very comfortable. And I hated ankle kits. I hated them. I did before we started doing this. And like, people sleep on this. People are like, I have a tourniquet in my pocket. I'm good. It's like, dude, tourniquets work for these things right here. It is very likely that you would have to wound pack or that you would have to use a chest seal. I promise. Unless you're just walking around with full body armor, except on your extremities, which you're not, right? Oh, but Bob, nothing violent will happen. Okay. Okay. I'm done trying to convince people. I'm not, you guys know me. I'm bad at this salesman shit. I am. What up, BRG? Should I go on YouTube or Instagram? You can stay here, bro. Hint for the ladies. Concealed carry purses are also great for med. Yeah, absolutely. They are. Also, tip for ladies. Carry your shit on you. On you. Shalom, everyone. Is the ankle kit able to go around a cowboy boot? Yep, sure is. J.A. Dudley wears it around a cowboy boot every day. And he also has pockets out to here because it's J.A. Dudley. Yep, works with a cowboy boot. Strikercade works as a good armband if you got big arms. Yeah, if you're Strikercade and you're an actual human tank, you can use it as an armband. Need a kit that fits in a ball cap. Hairfac 1.0. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, the thing is everybody wants the most capability with 0 print without actually carrying it. They want and that's the thing is do you guys want actual capability? Do you want to actually be able to do something good, or do you just want to feel good? You just want to feel good. If you just want to feel good, go to a different company. Go to a different company, because they will make you feel good. They will. I want to be honest with you. I want you to be able to trust us, right? Y'all carry canine supplies too, right? Yep. Yeah, we carry canine supplies, everything to canine IV start kits, which totally aren't the same type of kits that you could use on human beings, because we would never sell that to the general public. We'd never give you the capability to start an IV, and you could never do open source research and trials and testing through training devices that are on the internet that you could purchase. We would never do that. That'd be foolish, and we like to gatekeep. Only special people get to do that. Only the specials. So yeah. People want a Minecraft inventory of stuff without having to carry it. And that's the thing is you got to just kind of figure out what works for you, dude. People carry 3 magazines on them, and don't have wound packing gauze. And that makes me want to shove my head through a brick wall. Because it's like, in what situation do you think that you are going to go through 70 rounds of ammunition and not need a med kit? Like, that's fantasy land. That is what that is. That is fantasy land, right? It's unbelievable. I need a med kit for my vest. Yeah, we have a bunch of options for it, bro. I recommend the OpFac. The OpFac's great. The BearFac is super dope. The Bearman 2.0. If you're running a range belt, the SOB 2.0, and then also the OpFac work really well. Right in the small of the back. They deploy. Can I see it? Yeah, you can see it, bro. Stand by. Stand by to stand by. Meow. Meow. The only problem is we don't make our stuff in China. Or should I say that we do? Would that be better? What do you think, Jen? Do we make it?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. Yeah, no. No, we don't make our stuff in China. We don't make it in Pakistan. So.
All American around here.
All American. We gave people jobs and stuff. It's the worst. This is the SOB 2.0. This will fit right in the small of your back here. Very comfy. You can sit in a car with it too. You got your tourniquet on the outside. It comes with a Cat Gen 7. You can do a bunch of different tourniquets though. pull out the red handle, boom. You have a little blowout kit that you now is not attached to your body, is in your hands because you need to be able to see it. Chest seals, wound packing gauze, hemostatic gauze, gloves, duct tape, nasopharyngeal airway, additional compressed gauze, all and a Sharpie. You can add a decompression needle if you want to. All right here, easily accessible, weighs less than an AR-15 mag. Right? It's a good little kit, dude. And like all of our stuff is actually guaranteed forever. And we replace the components. We replace the components if you use them to save a life. So like people don't want to use their tourniquets because they're like, oh, it's $32. I don't know this guy. But it's like, dude, I'll replace the tourniquet. Save the life. What kit is this? This is the SOB, the small of the back. And it's American made too, right? It's like, oh, but Bob, do you have it in Cool Guy Multicam? I sure do, in real multicam with a low IR signature. So that way when you're operationally operating like an operator with your nods, you can wear this. Or if you're like, I don't want all that. Like, dude, we got it in black. We got it in red with a high-vis stripe. Same exact thing, dude. And we actually test this stuff. We've been running it. We've been getting after it. Always got that BPK, 2 tourniquets, 2 sets of gloves. Why? Because shiz does happen. Just the components, Torah Prepper. OpFac, SOB, BearFac, Adventure Kit. Each has a spot in my system and the systems overlap. I will look into that, Rough Swan. Thank you. How much is it? I'm a security guard. I think the SOB is like 200 bucks. Do you carry junctionals? Yeah, we carry junctional tourniquets. We have SAM junctional tourniquets. That's what we carry. And wound packing is very good. I would recommend wound packing and getting good at it. Where's the best place to get training on chest seals, etc.? Come to class. Don't be an ass, come to class. So we do classes here at Refuge Medical. We do them here in our office. You can come hang out and train with a bunch of people. We also do scenario-based training. So we're not gonna just teach you stuff. We're not gonna PowerPoint you to death, and that's very, very important. What we're gonna do is we're gonna give you the information, and then we have a bunch of role players that work for us. And so you're gonna do hands-on scenarios, right? Where you're gonna have random people coming in and trying to mess with you, and you're gonna have actual people screaming in agony that you have to render aid to, put chest seals on, wound pack, apply tourniquets. You might even have to get in a gunfight, right? Because life is a two-way range. And so we do all that here in the shop. We have a training coming up this Sunday, the Refuge Responder. It's an 8-hour course. We have one on Sunday and we have one on Monday. And then we have another full Essential Responder, which is a 3-day course coming up in September. And it's crazy intense. It's very, very cool. Best TCCC med training at Refuge Medical. Hey, thanks, Big Timber. I appreciate that. If you're in New Hampshire, we do training at Critical Defense in Concord. Yeah, there you go. There you go. Because we don't travel right now. It takes a lot for us to travel, just because the world's crazy, and it is easier to have people come to us than it is to take the entire training team somewhere else, right? In this economy, it's very rough to travel. SOB is in my battle belt and always goes to the range with me. There you go. There you go. See? There's a witness right there. I love the SOB. The SOB is gangster. I don't know if I have an OpFac anywhere that I can show you guys. The OpFacs, man, they go like hotcakes. This is the Bear Min 2.0. I'm not local, unfortunately, but it sounds like a blast. Dude, we have people travel from all over the country, right? Because I think the Refuge Responder is maybe 400 bucks. And you get 8 hours of full intensive training. People travel from way farther than Colorado. The farthest traveler we've had is Alaska so far. And then we've had people come to Waco when we did a class in Waco from Germany. And so it's good training. It really is, you know? And I am biased, but I've also taken other people's trainings. And so I know what I'm comparing against, right? Bear Min 2.0, this is in the Cool Guy Black Multicam, right? Tourniquet on the outside, shears on the other side. You open it up, pull the red tab. We want all the kits to come out of where they were. We don't want them attached to your body because it's hard to work with these attached to your body. Notice you can open it with one hand, right? Then you have massive bleeding right here. You have hemostatic gauze, wound packing gauze. You have 6-inch ETD, some additional rolled gauze, as well as some gloves, tape, chest seals right here. And you also got a burn shield dressing in the back, right? And then down here, you have a bunch of OTC meds, OTC wipes, steri strips. You've got, you know, some additional gauzes, all that right here packed in. So that way you have a tight little kit that's good, not just in an emergency, but in every day. Are you doing any training the end of September? We're doing training in the beginning of September, and if you can come, you should. I'll tell you right now, we have a cadre of like 26 people for the training in September. We're doing full force on force. We have an SHTF scenario that lasts overnight with like badass cadre coming from the Special Forces community, as well as from local law enforcement community and local EMS community, like pouring into people, trying to give them skills because they see the way that the world is going, right? Like they see the way the world is going, and they want you guys to have these skills, right? And that's a huge deal. Medic Mouse said, yeah, I need to get me another OPFAC. The OPFAC is crazy cool. What do you think will be the cause for the apocalypse? I think the Antichrist and lawlessness, because that's what the Bible says. That's what I think. Right? Which only happens because God allows it. Because it's the way it's supposed to go. I didn't write that book. What up, my semi-long distance brother or sister? I don't know which one you are. Yeah, the Bearman is super fire. The Bearman is super fire. Oh, look at that. Vi broadband services are temporarily disrupted. Surprise. Surprise, surprise. We're having infrastructure issues. You want to see my surprise face? And don't worry, while all this is going on and everybody's news feed is filled with the same nonsense, Chinese warships are definitely not off the coast of Alaska. So, it's cool, dude. It's cool. Don't pay attention. Just swallow that dopamine. That's what you need to do. What do you think is the Antichrist? I think it's the son of perdition. It's the man of lawlessness. I don't know who it is. Who knows? I think we're getting close. But what do I know? I'm just some guy. You know? What do I know? I know that man's heart, which I think is what Striker Cade was referencing, man's heart allows all this to happen. Like, strong surge of something's coming happened today. I think he is already here. Totally could be. Totally could be. Actually, I would argue that the spirit of lawlessness is already here because it said it in 2 Thessalonians, right? 2 Thessalonians says the spirit of lawlessness is already here. So, like, look up. Your redemption draweth near, right? We're to have faith right now. We're to be a force for good. We're supposed to be a force for good, and people are like, I gotta get to my post, and then I gotta share, and oh, you know what I really need to do is comment on this and comment on that and make this. It's like, dude, have you gone outside and touched the grass today? Did you work out today? Did you get your blood flowing? Did you get a natural release of endorphins? Are you trying to better yourself and your family and your people, right? Are you studying your word? All these things. And if you are not doing all of that, like, dude, do yourself a favor and stop. Stop. Right? Or go to a different med company that tries to market to you through non-honest tactics and talk to them. Talk to them. Holly Huckabee, I actually have. Well, you know what, Holly? Then you get to doom scroll. Holly gets to doom scroll, everybody. And she probably isn't going to doom scroll because she's doing those things. I'm in endurance training right now. I have a month old. There you go. There you go. Where are you guys? What are the training dates? We're in Oklahoma. We're right outside Fort Smith, Arkansas. So we're in northeast Oklahoma. We're in Spiro. Training dates are September 1st, 2nd, and it goes into the 3rd for our next training. What you really need to know is like, dude, it's an amazing training opportunity. Like, The first day is like a really good classroom setting where you get a bunch of hands-on learning. The second day is like a bunch of scenario-based training inside of daylight with professional cadre and role players. And then you have a whole overnight scenario filled with badass cadre, badass oppositional forces, and incredible role players, right? And they're all trying to offer up you guys the opportunity to train with your gear. Bring your chest rig, bring your radio, bring your night vision, bring your drones, bring all the stuff that you think you're gonna use. Bring it all. I don't care. Nothing's off the table, right? Bring whatever super cool Gucci rifle you think is gonna work, right? And we're gonna safety check it. We're gonna put a BFA in it. We're gonna give you blanks, and you're gonna allow to run. You're gonna go be free. Do the mission, right? Do it. I don't know another organization that's offering training like that. I don't. I don't, you know. Like maybe Orion Training Group. Orion Training Group does some badass training. Like, come on, man. Come on now. Show up for the training, bring some swimming trunks if you need to get baptized. Yeah, we do baptisms at the training almost every time. If you're feeling like you need to get baptized and for some reason you want us to dunk you, we can. You can also get dunked by any believer at any body of water. So that's the job. Matthew 28:19, the Great Commission. Just no live ammo. Yeah, you'll get smoked if you bring live ammo, but we'll make sure. We have safety checks. We'll have RSOs there and everything. It'll be very cool. Very, very cool. Very safe. But guys, I can't stress it enough. Like, get your systems in order, get your house in order, and get after it. Cat versus soft T. For me, soft T. I'm a soft T guy. It's not that I don't love cats. It really depends. I have cats all over, like, you know, a lot of my rigs, but like when my EDC is a soft T. What up from Idaho? I like the soft T. It packs down flatter. It's also a little bit tougher to break. I have seen cats break, so I have seen cats fail. They do. They just fail. Everything has an attrition rate. Hello from Georgia. What's up from Georgia? Yeah, guys, I really can't stress. What's up from Arizona? Hardcore training for the world events, hardcore water plunges for Jesus. Yeah, absolutely, bro. Absolutely. And I mean, you guys, we want you guys to be a part of this. You know, we're not making a ton of money off the trainings. We charge the amount to pay all the people associated with it and then cover the costs of all the tools, right? That's really what it is, right? Because these trainings are big. Like, they're a big deal. There's a lot of people involved in them. This isn't two guys at a presentation talking to you. We use a lot of different training tools, a lot of different simulation tactics, a lot of different role players, you know. And so we want you guys to have the best opportunity possible. Greetings from Poland. What's up, Poland? Poland in the house. I mean, like, I don't know what's going to charge you guys to wake up. I don't. You know, some of you guys are awake. Some of you guys get it. Some of you guys are just like, oh, I'm fine. I'm fine. I don't need to do that. Tourniquets hurt. I don't need to practice putting them on. I'm like, okay. Okay. I just, you know, I can't keep casting pearls before swine, I guess, you know. I mean, and if you, I don't know, you guys tell us, a customer base drives a company. If you guys would want us to, you know, do something different, then tell us. Is this for very beginners? I'm almost 70 and female, but I'd love to be ready and prepared. What's your email to order for you? To order from. So you can email bob@refugemedical.com. We can talk about how much like you would be able to do and what you should do. The oldest person we've had take an essential responder was 64. And they did good. So a lot of what our instructors do is they tailor the physicality of the training to the individual, right? So if I have a 21-year-old stud and, you know, a 74-year-old person who once was a stud but maybe just isn't as physically capable now, the physical demand of these two people is going to be different. The psychological demand is still going to be very high, right? Because we want psychological challenge, right? We want that, you know, mental and stress inoculation. But, you know, you can totally, I would totally talk to you. Even we instructors need refresh training now and then. I would say especially instructors, because we get caught in our own white page data. We get caught in like, this is the way it is. But like medicine evolves, tactics evolve, the battle space evolves. And the battle space is out there, right? It is. Like, it's not like over in some sandbox. And so, like, we all have the opportunity to get better, and we should be constantly training in the skills. So that way, like, as instructors, we have to hold ourselves to a higher standard, so we're giving the best information to potentially save lives. Because what you don't want to do is give somebody bad information and then they go out and die, because then you're going to be held accountable for that. And that's stupid, and that's super lame. That's super lame, right? And so we all have the opportunity to continue to push each other forward, and that's what we need to do, right? In situations like this where the world is all stressed out and they're all doomer porn and they're all fear-mongering and everything like that, dude, take action. Take action. Go do push-ups. Go do mental push-ups. Go do spiritual push-ups, and actually look at the situation and go, okay, how do I make myself better? How do I make my family better? How do I make my community better? And how do I have a positive effect for change? And that right there, you're stepping outside of the nonsense party. You're de-inviting yourself, right? That's the point. Just Dreamu. Hello, what's going on here? We're just talking about, you know, TACMED and tactics and training and the end of the world. Tia Tawaki. I'm 39 and going back to get my bachelor's in forensic science to be a medical examiner. I'm sure I could be valuable. You totally could be valuable. You totally could. Come to class. Come to class and learn some of these skills. While you do actual push-ups. Yes, do all those things while you do actual push-ups. And I don't know, man, we talked about it, we could probably put a bunch of stuff on sale and sell stuff. Or we could not. And we could just tell you guys the truth. And if you want to go shop at a brand that tickles your ears and makes you feel good and everything is like, you know, super nice, fluffy rainbows, cool, dude. Do that. We're going to be honest with you. We're going to be honest. I'm in Texas, so you're not far from me. Come on out, Holly. Come to training. September 1, 2, and 3. It's a party. We get down. We really do. Ankle kit pre-ordered. Will this hold a fixed blade holster? Yes. Come to class, you will walk out a different person. Yeah, 100%. 100%. Physical, mental, emotional, all are tested inside the class while having spiritual growth as well. I challenge you to do 10 push-ups. Okay? I challenge you to do 10 push-ups. I'm an anesthesia supervisor at a nationally ranked hospital in Chicago. I've had to put my airway and ACLS experience knowledge to the test in the street a couple of times. Yeah, see, dress stream and you get it. I'm actually from Chicago originally, so. Can't stress enough how much having basic knowledge and skills can go such a far way when you're not in a medical setting. If you're prepared, you could be the only one saving that life. September 1, 2, and 3. How do I get more info just by emailing you? Go to refugemedical.com. There's a training tab. You can select training. You can see the essential responder. We have sponsorships available if you qualify. So if you're like, man, I can't afford the whole thing or something like that, just email bob@refugemedical.com. We can take care of you guys. Ten one-handed push-ups. Pass. Pass. Can't wait for September training. Second year for me. September 1 through 3. Tell City alum. Ahanu. Yeah, dude. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be very, very cool. Ren and I were talking about it just a little bit ago. Ren's one of our role players. He might be speaking different languages to throw people off. Who knows? Who knows?
¿Estás hablando mierda de mí?
Yeah. Better too.
¿Por qué tú estás hablando mierda de mí? ¿En serio?
Yeah, but nobody speaks Spanish in America now, so you wouldn't have to deal with that in a real setting.
No, claro que no. Nadie habla español.
Yeah, so
Solamente tú sabes,
you definitely wouldn't have to solve a problem with somebody speaking a different
No.
language because our southern border is very secure.
Oye, tú me pagaste, ¿verdad? Yo vi el cheque, estaba un poquito...
Yeah, tacos, burritos.
Necesito un poquito más de, tú sabes, porque
queso.
no me paga bien hacer.
Yeah, crema. Yeah, see?
Dile que me pague bien hacer, que me dé más money.
Yeah, tú es gringo.
Bueno.
Thanks, man. What class race does Ren represent? I don't know. What race do you represent?
What race do I represent?
What race do you represent?
The human race. I'm part of the human race. Let's say it all together. Let's say it all together. We're part of the human race. No, liberal. That's all. Everybody love everybody. ELE. Everybody love everybody.
What did Messiah say? Love everybody except for Mexicans?
No, I'll give him a call though.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know what he says. Oh gosh. If you don't like it, take it up with the author. Yeah, that's a great way to say it. Will Refuge Training consider a YouTube series on prolonged care when there's no escalation capability or infrastructure available? We've talked about it. There's stuff that's just challenging to teach over camera. It doesn't translate very well. Hard KA fan. Yeah, dude. How's that porn addiction going? Pretty good? That doing well for you? Maybe you should repent and seek the gospel of Christ. I don't know. Seem like you're addicted to nonsense. What do I know? Is that a Cape Fear hat patch? No, it's not. This is the Bloodbeard patch. It's a medic patch. This is the Essential Refuge training you're talking about. I just went to the website. Yep, Essential Responder. Essential Responder. I traveled from Vermont. Very cool, very cool. Rock and roll. We can take more questions if you guys have more questions. I got a couple more minutes. We can hang out. Thank you, Refuge, for dropping that link. You guys, let's check this out real quick. Whoa. Boom. Look at all that medical gear. In stock. We don't just like order stuff out and then make you wait forever. Look at all these sew machines that are running to make awesome gear for you guys inside of a sew shop here in America. T-Rex arms appendix versus tier 1 concealment opinion. For me, I run a Ford holster. I have T-Rex arms holsters. I think they're awesome. But personally, I just like Ford holsters. It's a smaller company. I support like a local company. Then at that point, it's an awesome family and wife, or it's a husband and wife that run the company. Yeah, and they're good. They're really, really good. Like I didn't know that I was actually gonna like it as much as I did. Like I was kind of humoring them. I was like, yeah, dude, I was running, I think maybe, like we have a partnership with Alien Gear too. So maybe I was running either an Alien Gear or T-Rex arms. I can't remember. And he was like, hey, try this out. And now it's the only holster I run. And I have a bin of holsters. I do. It's just Ford Holster Company, Ford Holster Co. And this is nothing against T-Rex arms. I think their brand is awesome. I think their brand is super awesome. Long form content with EMS, 18 Delta, etc., like story format. Yeah, that's actually how we talked about doing it. Was like doing explanation videos and then also providing the links from prolongedfieldcare.org. So that way you guys can do your own research. It's just a little bit challenging because of the legality behind it, but we're looking at it. Bob, how can I make my own wound packing dummy? Should I be training others if I've been to class? Do you sell training kits? That's a great question. You can make your own wound care dummy by getting a dowel rod and then a yoga mat. And then you wrap that yoga mat very tightly around that dowel rod, stab it or shoot it a couple of times, and that'll create wound channels that then you can simulate packing, right? Or you could just drill a couple holes in it. If you've been to class and you're competent inside of your skill and you're confident in your skill, you should absolutely be showing people how to do these skills because it could save lives. Sick. My next will def be tier 1 concealed. They look dope. Yeah, tier 1 concealed is cool. I mean, I just try to support the small guy. That's my thing. Try to support the small guy. Sneak peek at the plate carrier. I don't know if they got any more done on the plate carrier. No? They're shaking their head. They're like, no, don't do it, Bob. Don't do it.
Not.
It's okay.
Next step. That is our next. We are on red packs, and that's our next.
They're on red backs, and then that's the next thing. That's our next move. Here's the plate bag. Here's the plate bag right here. And so straps pulled down towards you. There's going to be a couple of attachments there. We're changing the whole layout of the loop right here and the loop right here. It'll have a pretty interesting cummerbund system, right? So it's very cool. It's a sick little rig. I'm hoping to have our prototypes done by September because then all the cadre are going to run them. That's awesome to hear. I'm looking to get my first ever, just got CCW. Good, good. What up, Redemption Tactical? If you guys need a good overt plate carrier with level 4 ceramic plates, Redemption Tactical is a great place to go. Redemption Tactical is a really cool place to go. They have good plates. We actually have one of their carriers over here. Keep crushing, gents, until next time. Heck yeah. T-Rex ready rig for the win. Yeah, T-Rex has great rigs. They're awesome. What's your favorite pistol light? TLR 1HL. I open carry every time I leave my house. I don't need a vest, be a man. Hey, that's on you, brother. That's on you. I run Streamlight weapon lights. I think Surefire is not, for the price, Surefire isn't worth it compared to Streamlight. Streamlight's more affordable and the beams are better. How's it been stepping in as COO with everything going on? I stepped in as COO, gosh, probably 18 months ago or something like that. It's been great. I love my job. I really do. It's awesome. I was working in this shop when there was only 5 of us, and it's been a great company pushing the holster industry forward. We're always raising the bar here, constantly improving quality. That's awesome. Streamlight for the win. Hey, I'm going to buy one of your IFAKs. Hey, thanks so much. They're made here in America. You can actually hear sewing machines behind me going right now. But don't worry, we're inside of a Chinese sweatshop right now. Right, Lamont? I mean, Ling Hao? TikTok just shut us down. They're like, we're done. Forget about it. Somebody said Israel or Palestine. Neither. Christ is king. Yeshua is Messiah. He's the Most High Lord. Need a cadaver lab? Yeah, probably not. Maybe one day. We'll be far off that. I use Streamlight for duty and O-Light for urban. I don't use O-Light. They blow up. I've just seen them fail. But J.A. Dudley, my good friend, uses O-Light everything, and it makes my head pop off its shoulders, and I make fun of him all the time. So, can you explain about medical gloves and how to preserve them in my IFAK? Yeah, for sure. Let's go to the other side of the house. Say bye, SO team. Oh man, I wish that shopped at a company that wasn't a family and didn't care about each other, and directly invest in their customer base, and give their heart and soul into the products.
Hey there, Karen. This is Ren from Refuge Medical. Just want to let you know the order is ready. It is headed shipping.
If you could get one kit in the hand of every American, what kit would it be and why? I'm gonna do like a super practical answer. I would say a Bearman 2.0 because it has everyday capability and massive hemorrhaging capability, and it's got handmade nylon that's made here. And I think every American would use it, right? I could say something cool like a stomp bag or whatever, but like I think every American would use a Bearman 2.0. They would just use it, and they would get a lot out of it. Okay, we talked about medical gloves and how to preserve them in an IFAC. Can I get a roll of gloves, please?
I don't think we have it.
Thank you. So when you get gloves, you're gonna get a glove in a little wrapper like this, little Refuge wrapper. Now you can totally leave it just like this, right? That's no big deal. That's no problem. Here's a big difference with us. We don't use machines to roll gloves because they roll them really, really tight, and then they get stuck together through heat and compression, and then getting them apart when you're going to use them is very, very challenging. That's one of like the little details in our first aid kits that we kind of just don't talk about, but it's a big deal. Like we could literally save Ren from rolling thousands of pairs of gloves.
You want to show and tell?
No, we're good.
Oh, I got them. Well, that guy, if you want to show them.
No, Ren's like, I can show you. But yeah, we hand roll all of our gloves for that purpose. What I do, now this is what I do. This is just one dude, right? And it's preference, right? So I undo mine, right? I go ahead and I unroll them, right? And I stage all my gloves the exact same way, right? I take them and I fold them in half, right? Just like so. And I fold them again, right? That way I can grab on the bottom, I can flip them open just like so, and I can quickly go into the gloves. And then it's not too tight. I usually don't have any issues. Put them anywhere in elastic. Anywhere where I have a tourniquet, I usually have a pair of gloves because gloves rip all the time. So yeah, that's a big deal. What do we got? Yeah, I'm gonna, just for the chat on YouTube, just quick reminder that the nation state Israel is not the biblical Israel. Do your homework. Do you recommend for my first to try to get a light and a sight before I order my holster from y'all? I have to decide. I recommend personally, as a guy who carries guns all the time and has done it professionally, pistol without a light doesn't really kind of make sense because it's dark half the time. So get a light, put it on your pistol, and then get a holster for your light. Yeah, just build that system, right? Your pistol should come with some sort of iron sights. If you want to put an optic on it later, that's for you to decide. Some people talk with their hands, Bob talks with right? Yeah, right? Thanks, Texas Sheep Lady. She knows me. So I shouldn't use your IV kit on myself, right? Only for canine. Yes, IV kits are only for canines. Yes. Yeah, maybe do a little bit of research as to what fluids are in there and what size catheter. I don't know. What would I know? I don't know much.
Hey there, Philip. This is Ren from Refuge.
Yes. ... Heather calls me a dog all the time. My hands were dry and it was difficult to open the gloves. Can't imagine if they were bloody or sweaty, so having Refuge hand roll their gloves is very important. It's a big deal to us, and it's just because we have seen the data come back from lives saved. We take down every bit of information from when somebody sends us a life saved report or an aid render report, and we boil that down into how can we make our kits better? Could it have performed better? Could it have functioned more efficiently? Anything like that. And so that was one thing that happened a long time ago, and we were just very serious, like, man, we're gonna set up our own glove line. All right, got my 10-year-old practicing with the TQ. She's down to 35 seconds. Couldn't be more proud. That is freaking awesome, bro. That gets me pumped up. Woo! Do canine IV expire? Technically, the textbook answer is every IV fluid expires. You should research it. Any progress on USA-made shears? Nope. Nope, extremely hard process, and the steel manufacturer that we were working with couldn't do it. So, took a pause on it. We're nearshoring right now. Sister Kate, you mean the mother Kate? Holy smokes. I'm honored you're on my live stream right now. That is a woman who trains, and she's, you know, she's no longer a spring chicken. She's still spry and active and capable, but she's a woman that has much wisdom and still trains actively. So you guys have no excuse. Because you're being lame if you don't. You're just being lame. Don't be an ass. Come to class. All right. Got 229. You like that?
That rhymes. That's
Yeah.
good.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. I got to get back to it. Get back to the old grindstone. I love you all. Stop paying attention to fear porn and doomer porn and nonsense. Stop it. Be prepared, be active, be good in your community, be a force for good and righteousness, right? In this wicked, wretched world, right? And gosh, just be prepared. If you don't have your ducks in a row, get your ducks in a row. Yeah, Hemi, great point. Ignore all porn. Just don't do that. That's bad. That's good advice. That's good advice from a brother right there. All right. And yeah, bye.